Awesome.
Fuck you, Tim Sykes.
All right. Let's see, it's 8:20. Are we live yet? Starting. Come on, bitch. So starting. And we're live. All right. What's up, YouTubers? It's going to be an exciting morning today, it looks like. We have, right now, sitting on the watch list, top plays are XNET and AGRX. I'm short AGRX and I am short XNET. So let's talk about XNET first. Played this one yesterday. Made all my money on this one yesterday. So if we were yesterday, I shorted into this bounce right here. Shorted this bounce in the 630s. Covered some at 6 and covered some more at 590 and then held the rest. So right now I still have 800 shares left of XNET that I'm looking to cover into this wash. If it starts to spike at all, I'll just get right out. I got a pretty decent average. 632 is my average. So that's XNET. The one I'm more interested in right now is AGRX. So this one, if you look at the daily, it's ran up from 50 cents. This is the fourth big green day. Gapped up yesterday. And the reason why I'm short is it started spiking after hours. And the after hours is always lower volume, so my prediction is that right at the market open, people that have been long this stock for the last 3 days are going to want to sell into this spike at the open. They're going to want to take profit. So I'm expecting a flush. Well, this dotted line is red to green, so a flush down to like 250, 240, and then if it bounces again, I'll be taking profits in the 250s and 240s. If it bounces, I'm going to look to reshort at 270. Now, on the flip side of things, Henry is long AGRX right now, and I'll let him explain his long position, and I'll try to adjust the chart accordingly. So, go ahead, Henry. What's up with your long on AGRX? Tell the YouTubers about it.
I got in on the 4th after it gapped up in the morning and held above VWAP at the 171. I forget exactly when I bought in. I think it was around, probably before I went to work, around noon on November 4th, when it was holding above VWAP all morning. I bought in. I got in my position at 181. I put a stop loss in at, I think, 168, just in case it fell below VWAP, and I was gone to work, so I couldn't pay attention to it. But it's gapped up to 2 days prior, so I was pretty confident that it wasn't going to fall below it. So I'm just like, I'll hold it and see what happens. And it just kept going up and up and up, so I just kept raising my stop loss up and up and up. And now we're just seeing what it's going to do right here before the market opens.
So the next day it gapped up some more to 2, which would have been yesterday. And yesterday I actually shorted this. I shorted it at 227. I shorted it at 227. He was still long. When it had this dip down, I took some off when it pulled back down at like 214, 215. I took some off right there. I took half my profits. And then it bounced and it kind of chopped around a little bit. And I should have took the rest off into this dip down closer to like 209, 205, 210 right in there. But I didn't take it off. I almost did, and then I didn't. And then when it bounced, I ended up taking it off at like 216. So I made I made like 10 cents on it, AGRX, because
at that point I had my stop loss at $2 even. So I'm like, well, if it pulls back to 2, then I'm out. I still made some money, but it got down to 203, so it didn't hit my stop loss, and it just kept going up and up and up.
Yep, it kept grinding. And I was even talking about this yesterday. If you look at the previous day when Henry got in, you look in the morning, it failed. It had a huge drop, a huge death candle, all the way down close to the 160s from the so it went all the way, it spiked to a high of like 188, and then it had that huge death drop from like from 180 all the way down to the 150s. And a lot of people thought that was the end, but they came back, they saved it. It held above VWAP, it grinded back all day long, and then it gapped up. And I did not get back in this short. I was hoping that it would spike. Once it did the same thing. It dipped down, and you think it's done. Nuh-uh. They save it again. They save it again, and then it starts putting in the higher lows. Higher lows, higher lows. Starts grinding. This is a perfect time if you look at it yesterday afternoon. I wasn't watching it yesterday afternoon, or else I might have gone long. When it holds above VWAP and it just grinds into power hour, and then boom, it takes off. So I missed that long play, but that's okay. And then I seen it spiking up after hours. I actually took a short on it after hours at 281 into the after hours, but this morning when it went up to 3, when it pulled back, I got out for break even, and then it dipped even further, and then this little bounce right back here, this little bounce whenever it dipped down to the 260s, and it dipped down to the 260s up to 280, I added back in. I had a little bit of FOMO. I started a starter short at 266. I took a quarter of a position size, and then I added right up here at 277. I added more at 277. I actually have an order to add more at 290. So the plan for me is if this thing spikes anywhere close to 3, I'm planning on shorting into a spike close to 3. Risking the pre-market high of 307. So anywhere close to 3, I'm going to be piling in with full size. But I already have some. I think it's probably going to flush at the open. And if it flushes, I will cover into that flush down in the 250s or 240s. And then if it bounces and rebounds any bounce that it has into that, I will reshort into that and then look for an all-day fader after it bounces. So that's the plan. But sometimes you make a plan and life happens. So we'll see what happens. But right now I got an order for an ad at 290. And then after that, we'll see what happens. So it's when are you looking to take profits, Henry?
Oh, I thought you heard me before. I sold. I got a 281. I took the dollar profit just to.
Oh, fantastic!
Before when it got rejected by VWAP there just a little bit ago.
Fantastic.
Because I don't know what it's going to do at the open. I'm taking my dollar profit.
So the market is opening in 2 minutes. Market is opening in 2 minutes. Another top watch right now is FCell gapping up from the 30s, all hitting a pre-market high of 66. So hitting a high of 366. I would love to short this thing at $1, but I don't think it'll get there. So yeah, that's on the back burner is FCell. Henry's sad because he got rid of his FCell. He was long FCell at what price last week?
21 cents.
Yeah, you would have made 3 times your money there. But you didn't know that they were going to put out some shitty news.
But I am kind of mad about. Well, I'm very mad about it because I've traded the stock multiple times, and then it wasn't doing anything. So I'm like, I don't want to be in Bag Holder City forever. So I finally got out of it, and now I see this morning it gaps up, and I'm not happy. But you can't get them all. You know what happens when you miss one? There's always another one.
It's like the bus. You missed the bus. There's going to be another one coming, motherfucker. There we go. We're getting a spike. Market is open. Hopefully it can make it to 290. I don't think it might. I got an order in to add, and here comes our failure. Maybe not. It's holding up. We'll see. Huge volume coming in. A little bit of failure on XNET. Not much. Henry is not going to be with us that long this morning. He has to go to a dentist appointment.
Actually, I'm leaving here right about now, so. Have a good day, YouTubers.
And what? What else, Henry? And what?
It's about 11 o'clock, so. But.
All right, Henry. Take it easy, buddy.
Alright, bye.
Alright, so I'm putting a stop loss in on my XNET at 608. 607 is red to green, so if it goes green on the day, I am going to get out. It goes green on the day. So then my stop loss is there on that one, so I don't have to think about it. So now I can just focus purely and solely on AGRX. AGRX is not hitting 290, so I think I'm going to move my short down. I should have got it at 85. Come on. What? Alright, I just got what price did it get added at? Okay. So I just added some short at my execution box is kind of messed up. At what price did I get it at? At 280. I added some more at 280. So we shall see. I might add someone to this right here. That's more at 284. Looking pretty heavy right here. And it is testing the high day. XNET doing nothing, holding 6. And just a little background on AGRX. If you look at the daily, it's actually at 52-week highs. It's up on no news. There's no significant news on it. So this thing has multiple green days. 52-week highs. There's the daily on it. Gone up from 50 cents. And XNET looks like XNET is doing nothing. So I think I'm just going to get out. Maybe I shouldn't get out. I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to get out of XNET. I don't want to think about it. So we'll get out of XNET. Out of XNET. And I'm going to focus more on AGRX. AGRX still squeezing. Should have more patience with my entry. So this is where I want to pile in, closer to 3. Okay, why am I not out of? Oh, I didn't ever get an execution on XNET. I got partially executed. Order. Cover. There we go. Out of XNET. Added some more at 292. Added some more at 2. At 290. Added some more at 293. So now my average is a little underwater. Average is now 283. So I'm about 10 cents underwater right now. Should have been more patient with my entries, but I'm pretty confident that this is going to fail at the pre-market highs closer to 3. A lot of people are going to be taking profits around the $3 mark or close to 3. I mean, it always could squeeze up more. You never know. but I'm pretty sure that $3 is going to be a really tough resistance zone to get through. I'll probably start, so say, hypothetically speaking, let's say that it rolls over right around in this area, starts failing. I probably look to take profits somewhere in the around the 270s. Probably start covering there. My goal is, it would be the 250s, 240s, which I said in the pre-market. It's right here. That's where I'd start covering some probably around 275. I was a little impatient with my entries. You know, it was chopping around here. I didn't know where exactly it was going to start to fail at. So now we're getting some failure. I know exactly where I was going to get some failure at, but right now this trend is still intact. So you got a low here, a low here. So this chart's still intact. There's this white line is the VWAP. So it's not dead yet. I mean, we still got some work to do. All right. AF cell is tanking now. Doesn't surprise me. Neo, new low a day. Would be really awesome if I had the patience. Well, also, if today is going to be, let's say this thing rolls over and it bounces off of red to green, bounces back up here, I'll probably take profits down here and reshort here and then swing it overnight with the intention for first red day tomorrow. That's the plan. Worst case scenario is this thing spikes up, pulls back, holds VWAP, and just goes sideways all day long. If this thing goes sideways all day long, I will not hold it overnight. Because then, if you notice that I'll eat the loss. If you notice, every day this thing goes sideways, chops around, sideways, 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 gap up. Same thing, day before. Spikes up, spikes up. Oops, sorry. Jesus Christ. Yeah, there we go. So you got it spikes up, sideways, 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 gap up, morning spike. Spikes up, sideways, 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 gaps up, morning spike. So, and then it did it again. Spikes up, chops around, goes sideways, hugs VWAP, and spikes up. So if this thing doesn't fail with conviction today, I will not hold overnight. I will get out somewhere close to break even. Hopefully I'll get her out on a dip somewhere. We'll see though. So this is basic price action. You got the morning spike, you got the pullback, bounces, and then it'll chop around, may try to break high today. Not real happy with my entry, but when this thing does fail, it's got a lot of downside. And although this 290 level is looking really, really heavy, I'm not going to underestimate it, because yesterday, look at it yesterday. You know, it spiked from 202 to 230, had a 30-cent spike, and then it chopped around. It looks super heavy. Look how weak this looks. Looks like it's failing. But they saved it. So now look what happened. So if you got stubborn with your short yesterday, and you thought there's no way this thing's going to keep going up, you would have got squeezed in the after hours, and you'd be underwater huge right now. So I am not going to make that mistake. I'm not counting this thing out. I'm not saying I'm right. If this thing is going to go down 100%, I just have a short bias. I can't buy it this high up anymore. So, and it has a lot of downside. There's no news on it. It could still go higher, but that's why you set your risk and you just stick to it. And if it does go higher, you cut the trade, you get out, you eat the loss, and then you short it higher. It just becomes that much better of a short later on. Oh, there's some failure. Nice. I was typing, look over, and this thing is failing. Now, even though it's failing, we saw this yesterday where it starts failing, you think it's done, big red candle, and then they save it. So I'm probably going to get a cover order ready. Put a cover in. I think probably 271, maybe. $279. Will it get down to 270? Put in a cover at 271. Take 1/3 of my position off there. Now this is where they came back and saved it the last 2 mornings. I probably should just take some, probably should just took some off right there, but that's okay. Oh, I'm so happy I didn't get stuck with this yesterday. Stubborn with it, I mean. Also, another one that is on watch is SLS. So even though it's failing right now, apparently they're supposed to have some crazy. Here's the daily chart. Let's look at the daily. It's been consolidating for a few months. Horrible long-term chart. But apparently, according to Henry, they're supposed to have some crazy news coming out about they're supposed to have some crazy cure for cancer. Something that's supposed to be life-changing. That's November 15th. So that one's on my watch list for a potential buy. Maybe when it gets closer to the 15th. As you can see, this every spike fails though. So, but something to just keep in mind in the back of your head. It's November 15th on SLS. XNET still holding up. Yeah. Let's get rid of the pre-market action. Extended hours. XNET still holding up. The daily chart. I mean, I still think this thing is going to fail, but I think everything's going to fail. I'm very short biased. It looks like it's rolling over. But it could consolidate here in the 6s and then squeeze more. So I'll just leave it alone for now. I don't know what it's going to do. It didn't fail this morning. I was expecting panic, failure, you know, for it to roll over. But since it's not doing that and it wants to hold up, I'm not going to fight it. We'll just forget about it for now. Just keep it on the watch list. All right, here we go. This is a huge moment. It's under VWAP. It's under VWAP. You had the morning spike. It's pulled back. Is it going to hold here? Is it going to hold and then come back and grind up? Or is it going to dump? I think it's kind of, I mean, people who are along this stock you gotta think they want to take some profits. There we go. Oh, I almost got a fill. I had a 271. I would have got a fill. Should I move it up to 272? trend. Shit, I kind of want to move it down now that it's failing. It's breaking trend. There's the 270s going. 270's going to hold. There's the 260s. It's really giving it up now. We are in the money, boys and girls. Covered some at 267. Nice. Nice. Gonna have to cover some more. I think I'm gonna speed key my way out of this. Covered some more. So I covered some, and I'm thinking I'm going to add back into pops, like right here. I think I'm going to put an order in to short some more at 275. Oh no, there's no more shares to short. Well, I won't be. So now there's no more shares to short on this thing. So my remaining shares I'm going to hold on to for a while. I'm not letting these things go easily because, well, this thing could have a lot of downside to it. That sucks. No more shares to short. Oh, man. I am posting in the chat room. No more shares for short on E-Trade at E-Trade on AGRX. Glad I got in early. I would be super butt hurt. If I missed this short. All right, well, so now I'm sitting here with a nice average on a failed morning spike. Let's look at a 10-minute chart and look at points of support and resistance for cover. So all the way up from 50, spikes up. So Most obvious spot is the 240s. Hopefully, maybe later today some shares might open up, but I will still look to take profits in the 240s. And then if it bounces back this afternoon, I will look to reshort. Hopefully some shares will open up. Man, that sucks. There's no shares. If I would have known that, I wouldn't have covered any. Bummer. Oh well. So, that is the plan for this one. Covering the 240s. I'll probably cover half at like 243, 244. And then look to hold the rest. Or wait for a bounce to short more into. And if there's no shares, then I'll just hold the rest of my shares overnight. And hopefully for more downside for first red day tomorrow. Because if this hangs above, if this stays green on the day, but it hangs around the 240s, 250s on the daily chart, it will be a, well, it won't even be a doji. It'll have a super long wick if it hangs out close anywhere down here. So that'll show a lot of selling pressure, and then it should have more failure in it tomorrow. So I'll be watching for shares to short, more shares to short because I want to add back in on this. I covered into some there, but I want more. Being kind of greedy. Because plays this good don't come around very often. All right, I think I'm gonna. That's the game plan. Cover some at close to 240, swing the rest into overnight, and so let's talk about worst case scenario. Worst case scenario is this thing bounces, puts in higher lows, starts putting in higher lows and starts doing what it did yesterday. Because, I mean, look at it yesterday. This looks so similar. Failure. Higher lows. If it does that, once again, I will be getting out. I will not be holding this overnight. The only way I'll hold it overnight is if it closes down here. If it closes up here in the 280s, 270s, 270s and up, I'm not holding overnight. 240s to 270s, I'll hold overnight. Because the last thing I need is this thing ramping up and squeezing power hour or gapping up once again on me. But so far, it's looking like a good short. It's looking good. And I think that's going to do it right now. Book some gains. Next Wednesday, we'll be on again at 8:20. Leave some comments. Like it. Subscribe. Adios.